One CRT model for life. The only model you would ever need to retire. Only model you will ever need till your end of your life, till your retirement. Even after retirement, this will still work. That one model CRT with that CRT one model for life is the CRT CISD model, which is basically called the one model for life, which the ingredients to it, you need a narrative, a higher tariff bias, higher tariff draw liquidity. You need to have a rational, sound logic to every single trade. You need to have a narrative to every single trade. The more the narrative, the higher the probability of the setup working. The less narrative, the less probability of the setup working. You would need a CISD entry only, because you guys know there is a model number 2, there's a model number 3, there's a model number, like that's the model number 1, right? Model number 2, right? You can see how their number 2 is basically a breaker block entry. Number 3 is a fair value gap. Number 4 is a unicorn model, right? All into a what? Into a CRT. So you can see how many entries you have. You have a model number 1, which is a CISD, which is the one we're talking about. Model number 2, breaker block. Model number 3, fair value gap. Model number 4, unicorn model. Model number 5, OTE. Model number 6, which is kiss of death, KOD, right? Model number 7, there's no number 7, right? These are the 6 model that there is just inside of a CRT. Inside of a range, there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's 6. There are 6 entries you can take in one CRT, one range. So every range has 6 entries. That's insane, right? That's the power of CRT. And what's the highest probability out of all of them? CISD, because CISD tops the top, bottoms the bottom. CISD confirms the top, confirms the bottom. CISD confirms the open high low close concept. CISD confirms the SMT. CISD confirms manipulation. CISD confirms reversals. CISD confirms expansions. CISD does the major stuff, which is very required, right? Open high low close concept is a very important thing, which how do you confirm it? And the weekly candle range, open high low close concept, and a daily CISD confirms both, right? And there's some more ingredients into, there's some more things that CISD could do, but I can't take it at the top of my head, right? I don't want to go search out like what else can he do, right? I don't want to do that, right? But those are the most important things, right? As you guys know, manipulation phase is strong, important thing. Reversals are an important thing. SMT is important, right? Expansions are important. Open high low close is important, right? These are very important concepts, and CISD confirms it all. CISD as well confirms the top of a total soup as well, right? The top of a total soup. CISD confirms the top of a CRT, the bottom of a CRT, right? So if you have a CISD there, usually if it meets the specific requirements, you'll be considered as a top of the move, right? So if you that right there's the safest entry you can have, right? Well, the other model I've taught you guys, the next that not taught you guys, right? The next model I've talked about, right? The next 5 models, right? Which are inside of one CRT, those can get spiked through. Those are lower probability. Unicorn model are lower probability, because unicorn model would eventually, because you're entering inside a danger zone, right? When you enter a CISD, your sell stop are always measured to be near the CRT high or near the CRT low, or even below it or above it, right? Basically securing you a undangerable zone. It could definitely go stop you out, right? Nothing has a 100% win rate. It's all based out of probabilities. And CISD has the highest probability out of all of the concepts that is out there because it meets specific requirements. Now let's go over the requirements that it has to meet. The requirement that CISD has to meet for your entry, which is very important, right? Because what does CISD have? CISD gives you a predetermined sell stop, predetermined take profit, predetermined break even, right? Because right when you take profit, you're gonna break even, right? It meets up all of these requirements. What does a CRT have? Predetermined drawn liquidity. What's next, right? And it's basically another word of MXM. What is it? It has its own narrative. It has its own bias. It has its own drawn liquidity. Yeah, you miss a lot of things. This is why I told you guys. This is what I'm talking about. This is a one CRT model for life. And for the ingredients for the CISD, he has to meet 3 ingredients, right? It first has to purge CRT, right? Then it has to do one of the other followings: fill or purge a liquidity. Or like when it fills the liquidity, basically auto blocks, right? Or when you tap auto block, you fill in liquidity, right? Basically when you tap at high tap and key level. So another word for a fill is tapping higher tap and key level, right? Other word of a purge is basically sweeping out a buy side liquidity or sweeping out a sell side liquidity, because you have to meet one of these requirements for it to be a right high probability CISD. It first has to meet the CRT. If there's an SMT there, if there's an SMT, you will disregard it, right? Then you look for a model number 1 and you're entering, right? But if you're looking to trade, if you're looking to trade that SMT, you have to look at the correlated pair like GU, and GU has to purge out the liquidity and you have to tap the hard tap and key level, right? Tap the you have to fill liquidity or purge liquidity, right? When you fill liquidity, basically means it's tapping at higher tap and key level, which is not purging liquidity. When you purge liquidity is what? When you purge liquidity is taking out orders, right? When you fill liquidity, you're basically tapping a fair value gap, tapping an order block, right? Things like that, right? Rejection block could be another one, because when you tap it, you're filling liquidity, right? So it has to be one of these requirements. So another one could be this is tapping at higher tap and key level, which could be if you're trading a 15-minute CISD, you have to tap a 4-hour key level. If you're trading 5-minute CISD, you have to tap a 5-hourly key level / purge liquidity, right? Those are requirements for a CISD only. Now, for CRT, you need a lot of things. You need a narrative to every single trade. A logic and rational meaning behind every single trade. Drawing liquidity on every single trade. You need to have a higher time frame drawing liquidity, and as well higher time frame bias. And as well as, what does CRT give you? CRT gives you a drawn liquidity per specific take profits, right? As you guys know, take profit is not a random thing. It's a very important concept, right? You want to be getting out at a specific spot where the market could potentially reverse against you. That is where what comes in play? CRT. It gives you proficient drawn liquidity, proficient what's next, right? As well as it helps you with the specific range instead of trading some random fair value gaps on an hourly time frame, 4-hour time frame, right? Instead of trading an hourly fair value gaps, it gives you a specific CRT, specific range you should be trading, because there's types of CRT. Range, the normal CRT, which does not need time. There are a timed CRT. There's a dynamic range that could be used as well. There is a CRT range. There's 3 types of different ranges, right? A timed CRT range, a CRT, and a range dynamic. So a typical range, right? A typical range would not be a CRT, but it'll give you a range as well, and give you a proficient what's next and what's the next drawn liquidity. And all of these concepts I'm talking about, I have taught you guys in the ETU free mastermind CRT bootcamp that is published in January 1st, right? So please keep that in mind. Every concept I'm talking about has been already explained by my free mastermind CRT bootcamp that was hosted by ETU. Without them, I've not done it, right? So now that you have it, now let's get to business here, okay? Let's get to, what are we looking for, right? Blank. Let's go blank. Let's go naked chart without having predetermined, examples, right? So now, today, it did not happen. Today, actually, it did happen. It did happen today. You could put the chart back. Today, it did happen, right? Let's go to the weekly. Weekly. Higher time frame, right? You need for every trade you take, you need narrative, drawn liquidity, you need to higher time frame bias, you need everything, right? Higher time frame, weekly. What is it? IRL to ERL, IRL to ERL, weekly CRT to the downside. Daily, IRL to ERL, daily CRT to the daily CRT to the downside, right? Daily classic weekly profile, classic expansion week profile. One, this could definitely change in Thursday or Friday, because it could definitely change because there is many there's 3 days left until the day ends, right? Until the daily candle, weekly candle range, right? So as of right now, classic expansion week profile 2, Monday high of the week. You see how we're building narrative to this, right? And what else do we have here? We have a range high that got purged. What else do we have? Range low right over here. What else do we have? We tapped the premium spot, right? Premium PD array. What's a premium PD array? Our premium PD array could be multiple things. This order block. It could be this breaker block. And why do we count this breaker block as our premium PD array and not this order block? The wick, the body of the order block will be considered as our premium because the wick is in the discounted area, right? So this right over here, this breaker block would be considered as your model. I mean, it will be considered as your higher time frame key level. You can see how the market reflected right out of that, right? Now that takes away confusion. Confusion is now gone, right? And range high got purged as well. But the range high is in a discounted premium, right? Is right in the middle of it, right? But is right one tick below it. So you would not use this as your key level. You would use this breaker block. Why would you use the breaker block? Literally, we just created a range here. So if you created a range, you want to be going out of the, out of the premium and discounted arrays. This would, you see how the market ran through this, but didn't ran through that because premium discount. Everything I'm teaching it on the Mastermind CRT bootcamp. Everything I'm using has been already taught in the free CRT Mastermind bootcamp, right? Now, what else do we have here? Right? That's it. Now we have a daily profile. So if you go during this specific time, let's go during this. We're going to just go during this specific time right over here. We're waiting until one thing right here, right? CRT highs. Now, what else we have here? CRT. Now, this is where you got to mark out your CRT, right? You got to mark out your CRT, and we're in this specific range on the CRT as well, right? This is our CRT, which is the 5 p.m., right? The 9 p.m. purge it out. But guess what the market do? This 9 p.m. close bearish, making a what? Making a range. So now selling anywhere inside of this is horrible. So you do not want to trade the hourly until the market taps this. So now we're waiting for market. We're still looking to use this as our CRT. But what's up here though? We have our premium PD array over here. We have our range. The range high just got created. So selling anywhere in between this is bad because, as you guys know, a range dynamic increases the probability of your trades working out. So if you don't have range dynamic there, it will be decreased as in a probability way, right? And what else do we have here? A order flow. You can see for one trade, how much narrative are we building to one specific trade? You guys go back, you could literally count how many narrative we built, right? We have built so much narrative, even more narrative now, right? the 1 a.m. candle, then we're trading a kill zone. We're trading a Pacific time, another narrative, right? We're building we're building up all of these narratives just for one trade. And for the one CRT model for life that I use, you cannot enter it out of thin air. You have to have a lot of narrative. The more narrative you have, the higher probability. Just one Pacific trade, how many narrative does he have? He has so much narrative. So the higher the narrative, the higher what? The higher the probability, right? So inside of this range, you don't be selling. So we're gonna wait until this range gets purged, and we're gonna wait until the market taps the premium key level, because market looks like it's in a range, right? This high, this basket liquidity is not in the Pacific. It's not in this range. It's not in this the premium array. It's in discounted spot, right? So we'll use this, right? Why we're using? I barely be using breakup blocks, right? And this because I'm using breakup block. Why was it breakup block? Because the wick of the order block is in the discounted area, so I won't be using it, right? So now let's go to the 15-minute time frame. I'm not selling until the market goes back all the way here to the range high. Then I'm selling. Waiting. 1:45 a.m. Waiting. 3:30 a.m. Market pressed it out right over there, right? Now I'm looking for a C. Now I'm still not tapping the key. I'm still not tapping a. I'm still not looking for an entry here. Why? What does CISD need? CISD need to purge a CRT high. What did the market do? Purge our CRT high again, because this one made a range, right? So this is how we consider our new Pacific range. What else? What does it need? It needs to purge liquidity or fill liquidity. So it did purge out liquidity, but this liquidity is in the discounted area, right? It's in the discounted area. You can see one tick below it. It's in the discounted area, so we can't use it. So we have to go wait until the market taps another liquidity, which is this breakup block, right? So now we wait. Now we tapped it. Now we're looking for trades here. Now let's see what's cooking here. Let's see. Okay, our CISD met 2 requirements. What did they meet? Our CISD made our requirements. What did it meet? He purged our CRT high. Okay, he purged it tapped a key level. Okay, which is the higher tapping. He filled the liquidity, right? So it met both of them, right? We had a meaning behind this trade. We have built a narrative. We have built a drawing liquidity on this trade. So now this will be considered as our model number 1. So now we waited for the market to close below it. Right? So now we're waiting for this entry to the downside. And so it's right below, above that basket liquidity. You can see how this is. We're selling inside the CRT, but look at our sell stop is outside the CRT, right? So it's less likely to go over there, right? As well as we could potentially take even a body entry here, right? You could potentially take a body. Some people, this might be a big candle for you, so you might take a body here, right? So you enter out the body, you wait. You could have had an even better entry on this, right? You could have waited for a body, because this candle is such a big candle, right? It's a big bulky candle. So waiting for the 50% retrace to the threshold of the order block of the CISD. So you wait for a threshold for the CISD, then you look to enter the trade, right? So now we have a predetermined sell stop, predetermined take profit, which is this CRT low. And guess what? We're going to the range low. Guess what? This could be considered as a KOD, because it looks like to be the last sequence before hitting the drawn liquidity, which is down here, right? And as well, it could be the same thing to this, because these are needs to each other, right? So we're going for 11 RR in this. You're still admitting this trade, right? But I don't trade London, so I would have not caught this, right? But it's a perfect example of a one model for life. But you see right over here, we're going for the CRT low as a take profit 1. You could even potentially even do this 50% mark, right? Right over there. Right, 50% mark as your second take profit, right? If first take profit could be 50% mark, it did not look like you got tapped. Right when you got tapped, reversal might happen, right? So you don't want to be trading right after take profit get saved, because the 50% in range likely will cause a reversal, right? So you want to be careful about that, right? You can see 50% did not get tapped. Now we're in this 50%. We're in this trade from a threshold entry. We're going from an 11.3 RR, right? Now, where's our take profit going to be? Where's our take profit, right? Our take profit is going to be this CRT low right over here. This range low, because range high gets purged. We're going to go to range low, right? I've already touched you guys about this, right? So you guys, I don't need to keep on explaining this, right? Your take profit is going to be the daily. CRT low. This is gonna be your next take profit, right? Because this looks like to be the last sequence. Because you can see market has already purged out liquidity. Now this looks like to be the last KOD before hitting the draw on liquidity. How is this a KOD here? Market made a big move to the downside. That means the next likelihood of something happening is likely to be a KOD, right? So now your take profit is gonna be dragged all the way down here and all the way down here. Now all you're doing is waiting for this candle to get hit. You're in the trade, wait for it. So now you be patient. Now you either hit sell stop or take profit. You go here, you break even, you partial, you wait. Market never goes back to your entry position. Keep on waiting. You can see how the market resets back to the model number 1. But guess what though? Our entry was a CISD entry. How is it there? Because our entry was out of the threshold. How come? Because the candle is way too big, right? Sometimes when the candle is big, bulky candle, want to be using the 50% retrace, because usually market will retrace to the 50%, and we have met the requirement of the CISD. We've met the requirement of the CRT one CRT model for life. So TP2 got hit right over here. Your TP2 would not be this low. This would be a key level, right? Your TP2 would be right over here. Boom, you're in that trade. Now you can see how on New York session, right there, you can see New York session never purged out liquidity. So this KOD is true. Is a true KOD, right? So that KOD is a true KOD that is higher likely to work out, right? How is that a true KOD? Because last sequence before in a drawn liquidity, right? As we talked about it, right? KOD could be, there could be multiple KOD at one time, right? So KOD is a hard concept, but it's always a high probability concept, right? KOD is hard to be like, oh, will this be the only KOD that will hit the drawn liquidity? Sometimes yes, sometimes not, right? But in this case, let's see how this one goes, right? This one meets our range low right over here. Boom, hits our range low. Okay, we're profiting right here. We're profiting. We're going like we're already up what? 8.7 RR, right? So now we just wait. TP2 has not been hit yet, though. We just gotta wait because market needs to range. Because market can't just go down, right? Market just can't just expand, hitting our drawn liquidity, right? Market needs to chill, be patient, and wait, right? And yeah, this is one CRT model for life. There's many examples I can give you. When you guys want any more examples, let's see, right? Because you can see. But before we move on, what did this specific trade have? He has so much drawn liquidity. He had narrative. He had high time frame bias. He had high time frame drawn liquidity. He had rational and sound logic to it. He had a daily profile in there, which was a daily London high of the day because market made a range, right? So likely London's gonna be the high of the day because there was a range. So in addition would not make a delay purchase profile, right? Okay. We had a weekly classic expansion week profile too. Monday high of the week. Tuesday continue to the downside, right? As of right now, right? We had a premium key level. We're in a premium spot position. We sold at premium instead of discount. We as well had a range high and range low. We as well had a daily CRT to the downside. We as well had a weekly CRT to the downside, right? You can see how these are constantly, you know, saying for one specific trade, we're bidding up that much. We're bidding up that much narrative to one specific trade. So the higher the narrative, the higher the probability, right? The higher the narrative, the higher the probability, right? And what else do we had here? We had even more narrative. We traded a Pacific time, we traded a Pacific candle, we traded CRT, way more, right? So this is why it's very important. I just gave you the sauce, right? Now you go apply it to the live data market, but you need a sound and rational sound logic to every trade. You need to have a drawn liquidity. You cannot pattern trade this without a drawn liquidity. You're pattern trading. Don't pattern trade. Don't gamble. Okay. Simple as this. I have lost thousands of dollars. Not gambling. I've lost thousands of dollars. I have lost thousands of dollars doing pattern trading. Just from pattern trade, I've lost thousands. The reason I lost it because okay, I don't need it. What are the odds against me? What if I'm going for a higher RR, right? What are the odds against me, right? And guess what happens? I lost thousands of dollars because I did. Oh, most of the trades were against me because most of the trades would do 50% retrace and stop me out. Why would we do that? Because it's not had a, it did not. It was a it was a pattern trading, right? It did not have no narrative. It didn't have no drawn liquidity because you cannot trade every single candle, right? You have to trade a specific candle. You gotta wait for the right opportunity, like this, right? You see how we built up all of this narrative for one specific trade. So let me show you guys one more example of this, right? It could be yesterday. Yesterday, what did the market do, right? Yesterday, when a CRT here, right? Right over here, right? CRT low of the daily, right? What else we had here? Before let me mark out the candle before we get into this because I could give you guys a better explanation. But if you guys want to do like this, we could do it like this, right? On the weekly, IRL got tapped. We're going to ERL, right? IRL Kilova got tapped. Hard tapping Kilova got tapped, right? Daily CRT. We're in a daily CRT play. We're going from a daily IRL to ERL, right? Okay, we're adding up this up, right? On this, we had no weekly profile because that's Monday. What else do we had? Weekly IRL to ERL, weekly CRT to the downside, right? Another weekly CRT to the downside. Right? You can see how we're adding up all of this for a one specific trade. I'll go to 4 hour. Got our high top and bounce, which is bearish. What's our 4 time frame? People are buying this. People are breakout traders. Oh, this broke structure up. Oh, you're a pattern ICT trader. Oh, you're a pattern trader. Oh, you got wrecked, right? Because you are a pattern trader. Simple as that. You don't know how to trade, right? You can see. Now, when the market purges out this liquidity right over here, CRT purges it out. Now, what else we have? A CRT here. What else we have? We have a New York reversal profile 1. 1 a.m. is the accumulation. 5 a.m. is the manipulation. It could be expansion as well. And 9 a.m. is the expansion, right? What else do we have? Range high. Range high got purged. So range high we want to sell. Range low we want to buy, right? And the previous week high got purged, right? This is not a CRT, but this is not a CRT, by the way. This is a previous week high got purged. We don't have no daily range, so we're chilling, right? Now, let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. This entry was on what? It's on London session. I would have not caught this trade because I am... Actually, this trade, I was in this trade. This is not London session. This was during 7 a.m., right? But this trade, I missed it, right? Because the reason I missed this trade because of I woke up at 7, right? My setup happened at 7:15. So I don't want to be taking trades right when I wake up, right? I don't want to be wake up press a trade, you know, that's building bad habits, right? So this trade is a missed trade, but today I woke up earlier, right? I said, okay, I'm gonna improve. I woke up at 6 a.m. Right? Simple as that, right? Improvement. We have next time we potentially catch this trade, right? This time we missed it. Next time we gotta catch it, right? This one specific trade had this much criteria, right? Our CISD. How does the value CISD? It pairs out CRT. You fill the higher top and key level, right? Simple as that. I'll stop there. Take profit 1. Take profit 2. That should be take profit 2, right? Yep, take profit 2. Take profit 3. And take profit 4. How are we going down here? It makes sense. You can see how this low is not that far away from this, right? These are not that far away. Sometimes think about it. Are these low far away from each other? No, it does not look to be a far away. As well, we have a trend line, right? Let's say as a trend line right over here. We have a trend line. So once this trend line gets broken, it's gonna eventually go throughout the whole thing, right? So even more narrative. As you can see, we had our New York reversal profile, which said during a specific time. We had a range high got approach, want to sell. We spread out the previous week's high. We tapped the high time and key level. We go from a weekly IRL to ERL. We swooped the CRT high, right? You see how we're building up all of this narrative for this one specific trade, right? One specific trade. For this, we add up all those narratives. For this, we add up all these narratives. Guess what the outcome was, right? You win in our way because the higher the narrative, the higher the probability, right? And this is one CRT model for life. Thank you for watching, and please don't pattern trade this. Please have a rational, sound logic, a narrative to every single trade, a draw on liquidity, a higher time frame bias, higher time frame draw on liquidity. You should implement every PD array we have taught you guys on the ETU free Mastermind CRT Bootcamp, which is coming out tomorrow, right? Today is January 21st. Today is 12/31st, right? But I'm saying this because these models I've already recorded the videos, right? So I could publish it, right, to the public, right, to you guys, right? But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one CRT model for life, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.